new alert from the World Health Organization about video game addiction. The organization is now designating gaming disorder as a mental health condition. ABC's Deborah Roberts is here with more. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Michael. And this is a move that has stunned many in and out of the medical community. Some saying it's about time we recognize the intense pull of video games, given the science that shows there could be some addictive nature to them. But others are wondering whether disorder is going a little too far. They're everywhere. On your TV, your computer, even on your phone. But while video games seem close to becoming our new national pastime, this morning the World Health Organization raising a red flag. For the first time adding gaming disorder to their list of addictive activities, likening it to substance abuse and gambling disorders. Chris Davis, a dad of 4, saying he was addicted to video games, at one point spending up to 18 hours a day playing in his basement. After therapy and a 90-day detox, Davis is now in recovery, saying learning to set boundaries helped him save his family.
I'm a year better, a father, more involved in my marriage. It's been a good year, and here's looking forward to the next.
The WHO says video games can become an addiction when gamers aren't able to control how much they play, impacting their lives for 12 months or more.
A lot of people use games recreationally, use games for educational purposes, but for a subset of people, this becomes compulsive and really addictive.
An estimated 60% of Americans play video games every day, with 2.6 billion gamers across the globe. But only 3% of them are affected by the disorder, leading some experts to caution that the new classification may lead to a possible misdiagnosis of mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, and stress. The International Game Developers Association telling ABC News there are serious and troubling consequences to the WHO's creation of a gaming disorder, when games are used as a coping mechanism for stress, anxiety, and depression. Adding the science and common sense around how video games are played supports the conclusion that video games are not addictive. Now, some medical experts also question the wisdom of classifying gaming as an addiction, some saying that may open the floodgates and weaken the seriousness of what has been traditionally considered addiction. But Chris Davis, that father of 4, begs to differ, saying he had to work hard to kick his addiction, and says that his marriage is finally back on track and that he's feeling healthier, Michael, after rehab. So in his case, there was really something going on.
There's really something going on, and good for him that he took care of it, and good for him and his family as well. And Deborah, stick around, and we're going to bring in Dr. Dave Anderson from the Child Mind Institute for more on this. And Dr. Anderson, thank you for joining us. And how big of a deal is this? This has now been classified as a mental health disorder. So if you have children out there, how concerned should you be?
Right. I mean, this is not without some level of controversy. It's something where the diagnostic criteria are still very stringent. I mean, they require 12 months of addictive behavior around games before you can get the diagnosis. But it represents a campaign by, parents worldwide to, kind of bring attention to a problem that they see in their children spending a lot more time on games than they should be. So
how do you know what's a lot more time? How do you know my child has a problem?
I mean, in terms of what parents should be concerned about with games, we think about age, we think about time spent, and we think about what they're doing socially on it. So there are stringent guidelines for kids under age 6 around screen exposure. In terms of time spent, we don't want to replace activities that are really important for development, like family dinners or spending face-to-face interactions with friends, or making sure that kids are engaged in sports or exercise.
And Deborah, I realize there is some technology out there that helps you monitor how much time you are spending on tech.
On devices, because we're not just talking about games, we're talking social media. And you and I have teenagers, and we know they're glued.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, Google is actually announcing that it is going to come up with new features to help you monitor, maybe limit your screen time. Apple, with its new update, is actually going to have an app called Screen Time to help the user monitor. Not necessarily suggesting an addiction, but suggesting that some people might be spending too much time.
And if you are, Doc, and if you realize you have a problem, what is some of your best advice for kicking the addiction?
Right. And that's the thing, is that what technology companies are doing, there's been a lot of pressure placed on the technology companies, but now, the acknowledgement of gaming disorder allows parents more of an opportunity to seek treatment for these things, or to perhaps find clinicians who specialize in this. In terms of what parents can do, a lot of this is setting boundaries from the start. It's making sure that you've got, boundaries around the time you spend as a family, or the amount of time you want your child to spend on it at night, making sure they still have time for homework. Then it's also also to watch out for, the red flags that are always there, like anxiety or depression, and whether or not a child may cope by kind of retreating into gaming.
And in my case, just yanking that phone from time to time, locking it up, yanking that phone, just making sure that they're aware that you're watching.
Doesn't make you the popular parent, but you're doing the right thing. And, it's not always the kid with the problem. It may be the parent with the problem, as we saw in that piece. I want to thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you both. I mean, very important message that you brought this morning. Thank you both very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.